Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Matt Lateplo, and on behalf of OTC Markets, as well as our co-host, Skyline Corporate Communications, we're very pleased you have joined us for our next live presentation from SOStravel.com, S.p.A. Before I introduce our speaker, a few points to note. Please submit your questions in the question box to the left of the slides. If you are interested in scheduling a meeting with SOS Travel, please click on the Meetings tab found on the left navigation bar. You'll be able to view the company's availability and submit a meeting request. On a final note, all of today's presentations will be recorded and available for 24/7 replay. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Eduardo Zarghetta, Investor Relations of SOStravel.com, S.p.A., which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol SOSAF, and on the Euronext Growth Milan under the symbol SOS. Welcome, Eduardo.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today into this presentation. It's the first time we present to the OTC virtual conference. We hope you will enjoy what we have to tell you. So we'd like to introduce our company today and hopefully, give you an idea of why it's a good time to invest into our firm. So first of all, I'd like to give you a snapshot of what SOS Travel is. It's a digital travel company that operates some assets online. We have two apps. One is SOS Travel, the other one is Flio. They have different services for passengers, information, and you can get some value-added services through them. And then we have two platforms for booking online travel, mainly holiday travel to resorts and destination when you can relax and enjoy yourself. They are coming under the SOStravel.com and the AmareItalia.com. We also have these same platforms in different countries with a different domain like .es or .pt or .ru for the different countries. And of course, they are translated into the local language. So we developed some proprietary digital travel solutions such as the Lost Luggage Concierge, which is a service that helps people with protecting their luggage and recovering their luggage should it not be delivered when they get to their destination, or should it be delayed. We help them getting the luggage back without getting stressed about it. And then we have another service called Dr. Travel, which is a telehealth service designed specifically for travelers, for when we are abroad and we don't have our doctor on call to ask for help. We have been operating since 2018. We have over 1 million users worldwide that used our services as a travel companion to book their trip, get information. And we believe that SOS Travel offers a unique opportunity to gain exposure to the global travel sector as a whole, but specifically to the sector of the digital travel services to passengers and travelers, which is a sector that is growing really strong, has a really good momentum because people want to spend money on themselves and want to have a good holiday. This is a little bit of the timeline of our company. We started in 2017 as a spin-off of another company called S.p.A, currently called Trawell. It's a group of diversified services inside airports. We got listed in August 18 on the small cap segment of Borsa Italiana in Milan. We launched the app on the Apple and Google stores in 18, and then we got hit by COVID. As you all know, travel came to a halt. We used the time to trim the costs and find solutions. We think we found a very good solution for a good restart and reopening of traveling by merging with another Italian startup called Digital Destination Company that has basically brought into our SOS family the whole of the booking and traveling resort access to our group. The two combined entities started to operate together in November last year, and at the end of January we presented our business plan up to 2027, and that's what we're going to talk to you about today. This is a snapshot of our team, or at least the C-suite. We have the chairman NER, Mr. Rodolfo Gentile, who is also the founder of the company. Mr. Colella is the CEO and founder of the digital destination company, so he's now at the helm of the combined entity. He brings in the 30-year plus experience of Mr. Kripa is a general manager who has been developing various destinations and travel services over a long period and has a lot of experience. And then there's myself with experience in investor works and presenting stories like we are doing today together. And by the way, if you have any questions, just hit the submit question chat. We already have one question coming in. These are our revenue streams as we are seeing them between now and 2027. So we have the booking services where we accept bookings to all destinations worldwide for travel, accommodation, services, entertainment, transfers, everything relating to travel, we can book it for you. The second is the lost luggage concierge, and is that service that, as I said, provides the protection of your luggage and helps tracing your luggage if it gets lost, and helps you getting hold of your stuff if it is delayed. And the third one is really a doctor available for you 24/7 in your language within our app, SOS Travel app, where you can talk to him, and it's mainly to solve the minor complications that you might have during a travel, because we discovered that up to 37% of everyone traveling, of all the people traveling, get a few complications during traveling. It can be a sunburn, it can be a small flu or a stomach bug. 37% of travelers needs some form of light help or light touch assistance from a doctor when they travel. This is a little bit of a snapshot of our booking service. So the first revenue stream that you've seen in the previous slide. It's a booking platform, as you've seen many. The nice part in here is that we have some private label packages that are focusing on Italy, the Red Sea, in Egypt and Kenya. Where we have a long experience and we operate some assets directly. We bring here about 80% of the traffic we get into our platform, and these allow us to have a very good margins compared to the rest of the travel industry. We also resell these packages via other platforms, namely Expedia, lastminute.com and booking.com, and that represents quite a chunk of our returns. So we have very good relationships with them. We sell through these other platforms as well. And then, of course, as I said, we can book you to any destination in the world. So where we don't reach directly with the direct access and direct properties or agreements, we book you through 50 partnering platforms that we have integrated in the back end behind this platform that you see here on screen. This platform has been particularly successful. We have a 99% increase in users in the last 12 months. This is a little bit more information about our offering for the private label, because we think that the very distant travel from Europe to the Maldives or Thailand, it is still taking a little bit of time to recover from COVID and the pandemic. We are focusing on assets that are a little bit more at reach for our clients who are based mainly in Europe for the holiday package products, and they are based, a lot of them, in the United States for the lost luggage concierge. But for the European market, we think this is a really good offer that allows people to use the services now and give us revenues and returns now. We don't want to have a fancy offering that are difficult to feel like it would be if you organized Greenland or Japan or very difficult destinations. These are our bread and butter. We do a lot of clients, and clients who come and visit us into these destinations, they tend to come and visit us again in the following season, or if they come in summer, they see us again in winter. This is a snapshot of our lost luggage concierge product. Basically, what we do here is that we realize that 24 million bags get mishandled every year worldwide. So what we do We try to shorten the time in which they are returned to you. We have an agreement with the SITA, which is the tracking service where all the airlines contribute. But basically what we do, we put in the manpower so that you don't have to. If you lose your luggage, the last thing you want to do is arrive at your destination and spend 2 or 3 hours queuing to get the report done, to call the airline and understand where your luggage is. With our service, you pay a fee at the beginning of the trip. If something goes wrong, we take care of the luggage, we take care of returning it to you. And should we not be successful to return it to you within 48 hours, we start to pay you for delayed delivery up to 1,000 euros or 4,000 euros in case the luggage gets completely lost. I see a lot of questions coming. I want to thank people who are asking the questions. This is the third leg of the revenue streams that we saw before. It's called Dr. Travel, and is a telehealth service designed specifically for travelers. So we did a study. We realized that 35% of travelers has a need of getting in touch with a doctor because of minor complications. Usually when you're traveling, you don't have the doctor available to you straight away. It's not in your language. It might be time consuming to reach an hospital or a doctor. It could be expensive because you have to go private sometimes. And also, where we've seen with the COVID, you could expose yourself to contagion to other diseases and germs and bugs if you go to a hospital, for instance. And then all the names of the medicines and the treatments are different in different languages. So we created Dr. Travel. You download the app of SOS Travel, and then inside the app, all you have is one button, and then the doctor appears in your language 24/7, and you can use them as much as you need. And if you have to go and see another doctor because that doctor thinks that you should be referred, you have up to $300 coverage paid from us. These packages are for 7 and 14 days, and they are either for one person or for the family, so they have two different price points. The company has been on a very positive streak news-wise. The news flow has really been good. Since May last year, when we announced the merger with the digital destination company, in September, we were already able to present half-year results that put us in a break-even before synergies. So really good result. And then in October, we got the board reshuffled to welcome in the new shareholders and Mr. Colella as CEO. In November 22, we received a research report written in English. You find it on the OTC website that gives us a target price of 2.5 euros for our share. We're currently at 119 euro in euros. And in December 22, we started trading on the OTCQB market and under the ticker SOSAF, of which we are very happy. We still have quite low volumes, but we're working on it with a lot of investors and a lot of you who will start buying in the next few weeks. This is a recap of our strategies and goals. So we want to be a high-margin travel tech company that provides travel technology services like telehealth and luggage concierge. We might come up with more services in the future, but that's what we're good at the moment. For investors, we are a really good play to benefit from the growth of global travel that is just going one way. It's just growing with a very positive at a very positive rate, and to the more specific sector of digital travel services, because people are traveling maybe like they're traveling in the 80s, the 90s, and the 90s, but they're spending more on digital travel services. They're spending more money through their phone. And that's what you capture when you invest in SOS Travel. We have this comprehensive platform that covers the online experience where people book their trips and the app where people enjoy the services. The financial profile of the company is really strong, as you will see from the numbers that I'm putting on screen in a moment. And so a really good play overall. We are in break-even already from 2022, and we start generating positive cash flow from 2023. So we really like to be considered what we are, so a value play, not a growth play. This is a snapshot of our financials to 2027. We expect to have $35 million of revenues, which is a 90% growth from 2022, where we are at about 17.5 million. It corresponds to a growth of 13.6%. The EBITDA that we project for 2027 is $4 million, which compares to something like $25,000 EBITDA this year. So a little bit of a jump from the 25K to the 4 million. And it's a growth of 11.8, sorry, not a growth, but corresponds to an EBITDA margin of just shy of 12% in 2027. The net financial position of the company is very strong. We start today with 870,000 euros in our bank account, and we have very low debt, which we pay monthly already, and this will bring us in positive territory by 5 million in 2027. As I said, we are really attached and linked to this digital travel sector. I put this chart here to show that there is a positive composite aggregate growth for the sector, and that our projections are anchored to that growth. And so what we say that we're going to do is within the growth of the market. These are the three main assumptions that we use for the numbers that I'm showing you in the next chart. The new management wanted to be conservative in terms of growth, didn't want really to get money numbers out of thin air. So very conservative assumptions. The doctor travel is still not embedded in the numbers because we launched in Q1. After we had to stop it during COVID. We had a test in an airport in Canada for some time during COVID. Then we stopped it because it was absorbing cash. So we restarted now. We will provide an update on the numbers after 6-9 months when we have some solid numbers and understanding of the amount of revenues and EBITDA that this service will bring. And then also within the numbers, what we have seen and what we have applied to 2027 is that we have a really loyal effect in our customer base. We have noticed that people who come to us tend to return for holiday with us, and therefore we can start decreasing our acquisition costs during the life of this plan. These are the financials. So we are here for these numbers. So let's look at this table together. We start here with the 2022. We have to call it provisional because there hasn't been time to audit the numbers yet. The numbers will be finalized in the next month, and we are approved by the shareholders by April. So we have another couple of months for auditing. But that's where we are at the moment. These are dollars, so $18.5 million. This is the growth compared to last year, 14.8. This is the EBITDA that we were able to manage, as I said, around 22,000 euros. It's a small EBITDA margin, but it's the first time that we are positive territory, so we are very proud of it. And this is the 870,000 euros cash that I told you before. And this is how it grows over time up to 2027. And of course, the columns for between 23 and 27 are our estimates. We just want to wrap up a little bit here and say that we are very committed to do investor relations that should be supportive for the share price. We started trading in OTC to provide more liquidity. We are approaching 20 million in enterprise value, which puts us, we are still a micro cap, but we are edging towards higher grounds, and we have this target price of $2.7 in dollars that we want to reach, and we're working very hard to do that. There will be a new research coming out in Q1 from our main broker in Italy called Banca Finnat, which had us at 109 and is reviewing the plan. Just these days. The plan is like 3 days old. That's why we don't have a new report yet. This is really the last chart to focus on, and that's just to show that our share price at the moment, we have a multiple of 1 when you divide our enterprise value by our revenues. I've made a search, and our competitors are at a multiple of 3.2 as an average, which means that if we were able to catch up with their revenue, with their multiples, our share price should move closer to this column. And as we grow our revenues, this is how our share price should behave. This gives a big upside to the share price compared to where it is now. As we speak, the share price is at €1.19 or $1.28. So just to wrap up for today, and then I will leave it to the questions. We have a significant increment in revenue scale and a long-term growth potential, thanks to the combination of the two entities together that happened in November last year. We have a good liquidity profile and a strong track record of generating cash flow. We launched a new product that is not included within the numbers, which will add growth and margin to this plan. And we have been good at managing revenue and EBITDA from this private label portfolio that we have. And we hope that we will be able to continue to grow our business in that area. So I leave it to your questions now. And first of all, thank you very much for listening to us. And so I'm going now to read some of your questions. So the first question is, why did you come to the United States now? So that's a very good question. So first of all, we have part of our numbers are made in the United States because our product is sold in airports, and we have agreements to sell in some of the US airports. So we wanted to come close to our customers in the United States. We also believe that it's a very good time to invest into Italian companies for US investors. This is because there has been a little bit of a sell-off in the last year due to the war in Ukraine and the gas price increase. These problems have now, well, the war is still on, but the inflation crisis has been mitigated. And as it is shown by the index of the microcap companies over the last 20 years, because these companies really represent the fabric of the Italian economy, they tend to be a strong rally after a sell-off. So we think that as happened after the sell-offs that happened in let me remember, it must have been like 2011 or 2018. We think that 23 could be a really good year for this sector of the small Italian companies. Within that sector, the travel segment is very strong because people want to spend money, want to travel after being home for a long time. And within this segment of travel, SOS provides a really good play because it's trading only at one-time revenues. Therefore, it's an extremely cheap stock to get in and get exposure to these sectors. I have a couple of questions regarding the platforms. One question said, does your booking service compete with Expedia? And if so, how do you differentiate yourself? So our service in the private label segment is not competitive to Expedia, for instance. We sell to Expedia and Expedia sells to their clients. We are good with technology at creating the perfect package for people and at marketing it online. So we don't really compete with these platforms because we're not in the business of trying to take someone's hotel or someone's trip, like an American airline flight and an hotel from Hilton, and put it together and sell it like Expedia. We use technology to map where people want to go, to understand how people choose their holiday, to segment, to target, and we create an exclusive offer that then we sell directly via our assets, amaritalia.com and sostravel.com, and we also sell through Expedia, Last Minute, Booking, and all the other platforms. Where we don't reach directly with our own offers, once the client is in our ecosystem, they can also book trips for where we don't have a specific offer, and then in that case we are more similar to Expedia and the others, but that represents only 20% of one of our revenue streams, which is the booking. All the others is technology that we develop in-house. We have three lines of revenue. As I said, we have the booking, we have the doctor travel, and we have the lost luggage concern. Regarding the statistics for the returning clients, we will post that. It's a very good point. It's not enough for me just to do that claim. We will post it. We will find out the exact number and post it in the update of the plan that we will have in 6 to 9 months. We're not involved in the business of insurance for companies. The insurance is a completely different product than the lost luggage concierge. If you have an insurance, you have lost your luggage. To start a claim with an insurance company. Our service is completely different. It kicks in the moment you discover that your luggage wasn't on the belt, and it helps you right away, right then. And if within 48 hours we haven't solved the problem, we start to pay you. So we come way faster and much more effective than insurance. In terms of marketing channels, we use every single channel under the sun because every channel has some potential. We are very strong in social media. We're very strong in some vertical websites that promote travel, but we know where to find clients in the different channels, and we go and get them. This is the experience of the team has been doing this for many years. So thank you for the question. I have a question that asks, in 2027, do you expect a balanced contribution from the SOS travel services and digital destination company? In terms of revenues, the bigger part of the revenues will always come from the booking because the ticket price is much higher. But in terms of contribution to the EBITDA, the contribution from doctor travel and lost luggage concierge will be always higher and will be on par with the booking service. So booking, more revenues, and digital tech or travel tech, more EBITDA. Thank you for the question, really good one. One question that I jumped, sorry, do we operate asset directly? We also do operate asset directly, and that's where we see the most of the demand that we know we can fill them in order to capture the maximum amount of margin. We operate some assets directly, but we are very cautious. We have three areas in which we focus, and we need to really have a strong due diligence and a strong local knowledge of the place before we do such agreements. I think I have answered all the questions that appeared here. In terms of live demo of the platforms, just go on sostravel.com or amareitalia.com and knock yourself out. All the services are available there. Yeah, that was it really. Thank you very much for your attention. Anything else you want to ask us, there is a link here, investor.relations@sostravel.com. First thing first, go on the OTC market and buy the shares. The ticker is SOSAF. Thank you very much for your attention.